Hey, what's up YouTube? Down the Smartphone Guy coming back at you with another video, and today we're going to do a little comparison of the phone that I think right now is the number one phone of 2017 up to this point. That is the HTC U11, and on the right hand side we have the competition, the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Both are very good devices. Both are available unlocked for all carriers. So the HTC U11 comes in at $650. That's directly from HTC, and you can get it for $600 almost at all times because there's always a coupon code available. So this one's $600, and then on the right hand side, the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 is currently available for $930 directly from Samsung. With Samsung, they're going to give you some extras, so I picked the Gear 360 to get with it, but you can also do a trade-in of some older phones, and you can even buy an older phone like an LG G4 and then trade it in for a good deal on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. So either way, they're roughly speaking, if you do that trade-in deal, about the same price. So that's definitely something to consider as long as you get that deal within the next week, I would say. So now let's go ahead and talk about some of these areas that are important to me when I consider buying a phone. So first area is the build quality. So this is going to be obviously just my opinion, but in terms of build quality, my preference is for the HTC U11, and that is for one simple reason. Now, they're both very, very premium devices. There's no doubt about that. They're both got Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, and they both are very shiny phones. You're going to get fingerprints all over these if you're using them regularly without a case. Now, I personally don't use phones without a case, but they're both fingerprint magnets, so if you're using them without a case, you're going to get lots of fingerprints, but premium builds both phones for sure. I only prefer the HTC U11 simply because of where the fingerprint sensor is located, so that would be one. It doesn't have a Bixby button, and it has a more useful squeeze feature, so that's really nice. So that squeeze feature is fantastic. That's part of the build quality for me. But then also, it's more one-handed usable. Now, the Note 8 obviously has the most beautiful display that you can get on a phone. 6.4 inch, that 2:1 display aspect ratio. It is the best display you can get, but the fact that it's so tall makes it, for me, a phone that I have to use with two hands. So that really... Obviously, if that's what you like, then the build quality for this one would be the better one. But for me personally, the HTC U11, I prefer a more one-handed friendly phone with that still 5.5 inch display that looks really nice as well. Now, in terms of performance, they're both running Snapdragon 835 processor. On the right-hand side, the the Note 8 has 6 gigs of RAM, whereas the U11, at least the version I have, only has 4 gigs of RAM. But in terms of performance, I personally don't see a major difference between the two. They're both running that Snapdragon 835 processor, and both fly between just about any processing that you're going to do. Any games are going to run very fluid on both phones. Pretty much anything you do on either phone is going to be very fluid. Even, a lot of people complain about Samsung software and how bloaty it is and how it might bog down a phone. But with the Note 8 and with that 6 gigs of RAM, I personally don't see that. Performance on both phones is fantastic, and I don't really give one an advantage over the other in that category. Now, in terms of cameras, this is probably going to be maybe... when I say this, I personally prefer the HTC U11. Now, this only has that single camera on the back, but the reason why I prefer the cameras on the HTC U11, and that's including the front-facing and the rear camera, is simply because of the fact that this one takes fantastic pictures. Obviously, you don't get the really cool effects that you get with the Note 8, so that would definitely, with that the dual cameras, has a huge advantage because you have this live focus where you can, of course, get all kinds of features in there with that live focus. So if I go back into my gallery, you can see it takes fantastic pictures. I do not want to downplay the fact that the Note 8 has a fantastic camera. I had to take this picture because I was at the corner of Malcolm X and MLK. I thought that was fun. Little picture of a turtle, but the cameras on this thing is fantastic. And you can see here that I did that nice blur to it. So I took a picture of the flower, blurred out everything in the background. So that is really cool. The fact that you can do that with this device. Took a bunch of pictures of my family there. But on the other hand, the HTC U11 also has a really nice camera. You don't get those blur effects, but the reason why I give the big advantage to the HTC U11 is because of the video quality. The video quality on the U11 for me is better simply because it doesn't have focus hunting issues. I tried to do a couple of videos with the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and I had focus hunting issues where it would try to, it would focus on something and it just would not do a very good job of focusing. Kind of like, so right now I'm using the OnePlus 5 to film this, and notice that it's kind of bouncing a little bit when I do the focusing. And the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 has kind of some issues there. So the reason why the U11 is the better phone for me in terms of cameras is for video, and I use it for my videos. And just about any time I'm doing a video, Xiaomi's posting some things there, so we'll get rid of those. But yeah, so I give the HTC U11 the win there. Now, in terms of battery life, that's clearly the HTC U11 for me. With the Note 8, I'm getting around 5 hours of screen on time almost every single day. It's been very, very consistent, and that's good. For me, that gets me through a full day. But with the HTC U11, I can get 6, sometimes 7 hours of screen on time, so I'm always getting better battery life with the HTC U11, despite the fact that this only has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery versus the 3,300 milliamp hour battery. This obviously has to fill up a much bigger screen with pixels, and they're lighting up a lot more of a screen there. This has an LCD screen versus Super AMOLED, so that would give an advantage in battery life to the the Note 8, I keep saying S8, but the U11 for me, just in daily use, battery has been better with the U11. Now, software, you can see that I'm obviously not even running HTC Sense. I've been using Nova Launcher on this phone since pretty much I got it. I don't really have a preference necessarily. If I had to say there's a better software, I might have to give the win to Samsung simply because of so many features that they have built into Sense UI, or not Sense UI, but the Samsung experience. Some people would still call it TouchWiz. It's not really TouchWiz anymore. But there's a lot of features built into it. The one complaint I would have about the software is that sometimes it is a little bit difficult in the Note 8 to find the setting that you're looking for. There are a ton of settings that you can mess with. Obviously, the S Pen is a huge advantage here because you don't have that available over there. The S Pen, if you are somebody who takes a lot of notes, things like that, you don't obviously have that available. And so I guess if I'm going to give a software win, I'm going to probably give it to the Note 8, simply because there's so many tweaks available within the software, and then also the S Pen, which kind of is a build quality thing as well. But next thing I'm going to talk about is the speakers. Obviously, the speakers on the U11 has dual speakers, so we have a little speaker up here and then another speaker at the bottom. The speakers on the U11 definitely for me are the better of the two. Now, let's talk about just a couple of other areas here. So waterproofing, the Note 8 definitely gets the win. We have IP68 versus IP67, so this is more waterproof than this one. Both can go underwater, but the Note 8 is more waterproof. In terms of audio, again, the U11 has to take the win there because we have special DACs built into the U11 to enhance your audio. And then they're both unlocked, so that is no win either way. So does the Note 8 compete with the U11? Well, I say yeah, definitely. For me, the U11 is still, this is obviously a personal opinion, but for me personally, the U11 is still, for me, the better phone. But the Note 8, as long as you get it within the next week or so, there's some great deals on it. Now, I will say that there's obviously going to be some great deals from the carriers coming up, so it might be worth it to even see what kind of deals the carriers have. But if you want to get the unlocked version, now is the time to jump on that, because Samsung has the option where you can get some great accessories, and then you can also get that nice trade-in deal, which who knows how long that's going to last. My understanding is that it's only going to last about another week. So if you're going to get the Note 8, I would say get it soon. But both phones are fantastic, but for me personally, the U11 is the phone that I would prefer to carry on a day-to-day basis. And for me as a YouTuber, the U11 is the better phone simply because of the cameras and the audio that this thing carries, because it has so many microphones on there. The audio on it is very, very good as well. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.